My lords, it makes a welcome change to be speaking in your lordship's house on a measure of social progress brought forward by the government. It's so rarely the case, and I really hope we'll see more of that. And it's also welcome to see the cooperation with unions that is behind this order. And it would be lovely to see some more of that, perhaps particularly with the teaching unions with regard to reopening with COVID-19. But I note with the comprehensive introduction from the Noble Viscount that he referred to semi-skilled and skilled roles being affected by this order. I think that's really quite telling, because why should it be that people with skills who've developed through training, probably through experience, those skills, they should be seeing a rise in their wages with the minimum wage? It raises the issue of the way in which, in far too many industries, the minimum wage has not been a floor, but has become a standard payment for a large number of people. I'd also reflect the remarks by the Noble Lord Hayne about the issue of enforcement. And we all know that one prosecution per year in no way reflects the level of failure to comply with the existing minimum wage legislation. And I have to focus, as the Noble Lord Fuchs did, on the fact that we have a minimum wage, but not a living wage. And of course, the situation for people under the age of 25 is particularly difficult. They are not paid enough money to live on. They are paid a lot less than what even people often doing the same job beside them are paid if they're over the age of 25. The fact is that younger workers have to live too, and any kind of assumption that they can rely on family support instead of decent pay really cannot be considered well-founded. I think if we're talking about the minimum wage, we need to look at the real living wage as calculated by the Living Wage Foundation, and also at the work of the Joseph Rowntree Foundation with the minimum income standards. And they concluded in 2019 that currently the level is for a single person £36 below what's needed for a basic minimum standard, and for a couple working full-time with 2 children, £47 a week below what's needed. And in the age of COVID-19, we have to focus more and more on resilience, and that has to mean at a foundational level the resilience of households. Households cannot save, they cannot deal with shocks if the minimum wage is not a real living wage. And just briefly, finally, I think we've got to look at training up more seafarers, as a number of Noble Lords have referred to, offshore wind in particular, offshore, perhaps hopefully in future tidal power will need these skills. We need to see the training and development. And we also need to see these skills, of course, for the research in our oceans that we so need to understand the desperate state of our nature crisis and our climate emergency.